I've had a lot of requests for this one. Well, you asked for it, so it's time for an update on Max and Ralphee. For those of you who don't know what Ralphie's deal is, so Ralphee was an orphan kitten who was found at a horse stable. She was taken home by a worker there who gave it to his mother, who loves animals. And after a visit to the vet, it was discovered that Ralphee had a neurological disorder that affects her fine motor skills and her ability to fully control all of her movements. But despite her differences, she bonded with Max, the dog, who also lived in that home, and he watched over her like a protective bigger brother. We filmed some raw footage of them together, and their story became really popular here on Wakaleo and even on big news sites around the world. So let's move on to the first question. This is from Chad Hayes, the Big Cheese. It looks like Ralphee has gotten a lot better with the shakes from CH. Is she improving as some do when they get older? Yeah, I'm not sure if the condition has necessarily got better, but I think Ralphee has adapted to it quite well. So right now she's exploring in the yard. She's a very confident cat now. So when she was a kitten, she kind of did get thrown around a lot more by her condition. She didn't have full control over it, and I don't think she ever will, but she's definitely a much more confident and happy kitty these days. Kai Crowley, this is adorable though. I'm troubled by Ralphee being outdoors. It's a dangerous place for any cat, but it becomes far more dangerous if that kitty has a neurological disorder. Is she left outside unattended? So Ralphee's basically an indoors cat. She tears up and down the house all the time, but she does get to go outside under supervision. And when she is outside, yeah, she's just like any other cat outside. She loves it. She has a big play and run around and hides and pretends to hunt Max and all kinds of stuff. But she's only ever outside when she's under supervision. Solomon Sheila, what happened to her tail? Basically, Ralphee's father was a Manx at the stable, pretty much a wildcat, but Manxes as a breed are known not to have tails. Some of them do have tails, most of them don't have tails. When Ralphee was found, Ralphee didn't have a tail, and that's basically the answer to that. Lady Selena, does she have trouble eating? Ralphee eats just fine, face first, just head goes straight into it, and she usually does shake when she eats, and she does have a habit of throwing her food all over the place, but she doesn't seem to have any difficulties actually consuming her food, so it's all good. Isn't there a treatment for Ralphee's condition? Okay, so unfortunately there isn't a treatment for Ralphee. However, it's non-progressive, so it's not going to get any worse, and Ralphee gets along just fine. So really, she doesn't need a treatment. She's perfectly content eating, sleeping, doing everything she needs to do. So yeah, it's not a concern. Nandy Christmas, does anyone know the breed of that dog? He's beautiful. So Max is an Australian cattle dog, and these are very popular dogs in Australia. They're very well known as working dogs. They're good herding dogs, and that may have been the reason why Max was so interested in Ralphee. It was something for him to herd. But Max is a beautiful soul. When Max first came here, he's actually from an abused home. He had quite an abusive owner. He wouldn't bark. He was very untrusting of males. If a man ever came near him, he'd kind of cower and stuff. But now he's a lovable dog. He loves people, and I think a lot of people were very touched with how Max doted on Ralphee when Ralphee was really little. So yes, good boy. Cosmosa, can Ralphee produce no sound? I don't hear her meowing in any of her videos. So Ralphee very rarely ever meows, and I think a large reason for that is because Ralphee is actually deaf. But she does make noises every now and again, but they're not really meows. They're kind of halfway between a meow and almost like a growl. She's not being aggressive, but I think, yeah, it's just a natural response that she makes. Pam Boulder, I hope Ralphee is living in her forever home. Ralphee is definitely in her forever home now. She's very happy here with Max and her owner. She's a beautiful cat. She's a pleasure to be around, although she will grab your ankles if you walk by her in the wrong place at the wrong time. If you have any other questions about Max or Ralphee, feel free to drop them below. I always love to hear what you have to say about any of the videos here on Wakaleo. And if you want to see more of Max and Ralphee, they have their own video playlist, and their owner has also started a Facebook page. All those links can be found below.